when you have more than 220 million people to manage, with over 250 ethnic groups, speaking more than 500 languages, and having Islam and Christianity at crossroads, you always or already have too much burden on your hands. This is the description of Nigeria in shorthand. Their situation is unlike anything in any country in the world. Nigeria, based on my findings, should have experienced what happened between the Democratic Republic of Congo in terms of forming a country at the point of attaining independence. Nigeria has been growing apart since their days of independence. Their tribal and religious lines are more highlighted now than ever before. No Igbo man has ever run in an election and been elected as executive president of Nigeria in the history of the country. No Igbo man, not one.
Subscribe to Marcus Inspiration.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel once again. Guys, today I'm wearing Marvelous Inspiration t-shirt. As you can see, I hope you love my t-shirt. So if you have not subscribed to our channel, kindly subscribe now. Guys, what is today's video all about? Guys, you won't believe that I've been seeing people over the internet talking about Nigeria from all over the world. But guys, I came across this man from Ghana. Like the way this man loves Nigeria, the way he wants the best for Nigeria have really touched me and has made me to love him so much. This is no other person than Tuntun Network. Like, I love this man so much. The way he speaks like a prophet. I'm telling you, these are the kind of people I love to meet, because he wants the best for Nigeria. He wants the best for Africa. I love listening to his messages. Each time I hear his message, like, I listen to it over and over and over again. If the whole African should love Africa the way this man loves Africa, it means Africa will be a better place. I really want to meet this man, and I have a special gift for him the very day I will meet him. Let us listen to another video from this, my handsome brother from Ghana. Let us also hear his analysis about Nigeria. In fact, in this one, he break the table. Pata, 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 pata.
I am not a Nigerian, and I therefore don't claim to know more than the Nigerian people. But I am a researcher and an observer. And I've taken time to read through the lines from social, political to religion and to the cultural diversifications of Nigeria to come to the conclusion that it may have to take one of these two events happening in Nigeria to put the country on a genuine path towards a real sustainable development in peace. Note, the emphasis is on development in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand that when you have more than 220 million people to manage, with over 250 ethnic groups, speaking more than 500 languages, and having Islam and Christianity at crossroads, you always or already have too much burden on your hands. This is the description of Nigeria in shorthand. Their situation is unlike anything in any country in the world. And I know that the breakdown of my observation, which I'm about to provide, will not be welcomed by all, but will definitely start a continental conversation, which I strongly believe can no longer be delayed. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the two situations I strongly believe will both have to happen, or have one of them happen to usher Nigeria into a realistic path towards development in peace. Let's get into it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria, based on my findings, should have experienced what happened between the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Republic of Congo in terms of forming a country at the point of attaining independence. But that opportunity was denied them. You see, Nigeria has been growing apart since their days of independence. Their tribal and religious lines are more highlighted now than ever before. Nigeria could have been at least 3 different countries at the point of independence, but the colonial government at the time made the decision to keep them together. And today, the division is imminent and is always problematic. The division between the Igbos, Yorubas, and the northern states forms the fundamental reason why Nigeria is struggling to see peace. Ever since my first encounter with a Nigerian, an Igbo family to be precise, was the first time I ever heard of the word Biafra. I would typically call them Nigerians, and they will correct me by preferring to be called Biafrans or Igbos. I thought it was similar to our tribes where we have the Akans and Elis and so on. But they would insist Biafra isn't just their tribe, but their country, which seemed like a country within a country. Now, that was in the 1990s, but till today, their dream of having an independent Biafran country separated from the Republic of Nigeria is vibrant and discussed in their circles, which makes me wonder, could that be one of the conditions that may have to happen to have a more manageable Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen? Check out these facts. The Igbos claim that Nigeria as a country led by the majority Hausa population has made a conscious decision to not allow for an Igbo person to rule the country again. This statement is on the lips of every Igbo person I've ever encountered. And the fact is, the only time an Igbo man was called president of Nigeria was when Nigeria became a republic in 1963 and were in a transition phase. President Nnamdi Azikiwe was only a ceremonial president, whereas Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa held executive power, which means no Igbo man has ever run in an election and been elected as executive president of Nigeria in the history of the country. No Igbo man, not one. The Nigerian presidency has largely rotated between the north, mostly the Hausa and the Fulanis, and the southwest, the Yoruba people. Peter Obi of the Labour Party is so far the only 100% Igbo presidential candidate who gained significant followership in their elections in 2023. And even with that, ladies and gentlemen, the Labour Party had 25.4% of the votes. The agitation for a separate country is real. The push by the Igbos to break away from Nigeria due to their observance that the political leadership of the country has targeted them is very real. Their distrust of the political setup of Nigeria goes as far as abbreviating the Naira to mean never an Igbo rule again. This is serious stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Some Igbos actually believe that the Nigerian Naira currency was named after them. Never an Igbo rule again. They make claims like they are sidelined in every aspect of federal government positions, including in the military, government roles, including ministerial roles, and so on and so forth. And my research shows that by 2015, Igbos constituted approximately 18.5% of Nigeria's federal civil service workforce. Meanwhile, the core Igbo state formed 3% of Nigeria's land, and the broader cessationists claim up to 18% of Nigeria's land area. Their population is like the population of Ghana, 35 million people, representing 15.2% of Nigeria's total population, with one dream in mind, the Republic of Biafra. What do you make of this, ladies and gentlemen? Is there a chance for Biafra to be a country? And could that help Nigeria ultimately to have a more manageable country? Could other tribes demand for their separation if that should happen? Will it help the Republic of Nigeria? Yes or no? Let's hear from you in the comment section, and let's be civil whilst we do that. The next thing is the state of religious divide in Nigeria. As of 2025, 12 out of the 36 states in Nigeria have enacted the Islamic Sharia law, which means federal laws are subject to the laws of the Sharia, which also means apostates, traditionalists, Christians, and non-followers of Islam will either have to relocate or pay jizya, which is a tax for non-Muslims living under the Sharia law, or in the best case scenario, not practice their religion. This explains why there is so much killings and bloodshed in the land. Religion and the notion of ethnic superiority has totally divided the country. They have fought for many decades and thousands have died in the cause. It is only in recent times, ladies and gentlemen, when social media is available, that we get to see some of these feats of deaths happening in Nigeria. When tribal and religious problems coupled with bad leadership is your reality all the time as a country, what will actually be the hope for a better future when you live in such a country? Therefore, after doing my research into these matters, I concluded that perhaps, and I mean maybe, Nigeria will have to go the path of India and Pakistan, or maybe Malaysia and Singapore, to give them a true chance at development in peace. To the Igbos, I know they will say exactly so and will be 100% in support of this suggestion. But to the Nigerian Republic, this will be treason at the highest order. This is why Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Igbo political group, was arrested by the Department of Services of Nigeria in 2015 on treason felony account, and until now still fighting for bail. That's for my first opinion on what it will take to see Nigeria be the giant it claims to be. The second condition I believe must definitely happen to reset Nigeria is when they put in a true patriot as the president of the country, a no-nonsense leader who is ready to break the shackle of political elitism and economic monopoly of the country. The person will have to be ruthless and fearless. A lot of mighty trees need to fall, and the elephants must be grounded. Something similar to what the president of El Salvador had to do to restore law and order in his country. This person cannot come out of the existing political class. Ladies and gentlemen, that will not work. He must be an outsider with no political ties to any godfathers. The Traore type of leadership with one aim in mind, on a rescue mission for the reset of Nigeria. Nigeria really needs a reset. Nigeria definitely needs a reset. When you see the number of deaths to extremist groups and the level of migration of their youth, you know that something is terribly wrong there. On top of that, their currency is in a spiral fall, ladies and gentlemen. The president of Nigeria, whom majority of their internet bloggers and the youth speak against for bad governance, has just won his party's primaries to run again in Nigeria's next election. What is happening there? Will there ever be change in Nigeria? Because this is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like the people are complaining, and yet the political systems in the country are set up in such a way that it's easily skewed in favor of one person from a particular political class winning all the time. It's like it's always determined before they even vote. When will this ever change? A country like Nigeria should have been feeding the world. They could have been rocking shoulders with the Asian tigers. Their potential is at par with Brazil. But the sad reality is Brazil has a GDP of $2.5 trillion, where Nigeria is still idling with $400 billion. Nigeria could use a reset, ladies and gentlemen, and it could be led by one man. I am waiting for the day when we wake up to the news that there is a shakedown in Nigeria, and someone with the bravery of Captain Traore has been put in office through an election. That will be the beginning of Africa's greatness. Trust me, that day will be special to watch. Let's hear from you in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, and let's keep it civil. God bless Nigeria.
Guys, in fact, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. This guy is talking as if he's already living with us in Nigeria. I am deeply touched. My brother, I love you so much. Because you're a man full of wisdom. This guy is amazing. Each time I watch his videos, I learn a lot from his videos. I'm telling you, if you have not been following this man for the first time in this channel, I am telling you to follow somebody. If you have not been following him, please follow him, because he has something to offer. This is a man that won the best for Africa. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this beautiful video. If it is your first time of coming to this channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe. Press the notification bell so that anytime we post video, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much and have a good day. God bless you. Bye.